questions for Coach McCaffery.
And what was the key to your guys not ever really buckling in the second half?
Well, you know, I think it's maturity and understanding the necessity of following the game plan on the road against a really explosive team. You know, we can go to school on last year. We came down here and played pretty well for 32 minutes, and 32 minutes isn't enough. They had a run in the first half, they had a run in the second half, difference in the game. You can't do that here. I've been down here enough, and some of these guys have been down here before more than once. So you got to take care of the ball, you got to move the ball, and you got to stay together on defense, and you can't let up.
Fran, in the last minute, obviously everybody knew about the ball's going to Jordan, but he still was able to get the ball. I guess what does that say about his toughness? How was he able to do that?
Well, it was execution on behalf of everybody. We had a good lineup in there to handle the press. He moves well without it. You know, we really wanted to get it to him. You know, Connor did a good job there. We did a good job getting him open, and that's what you want to do down the stretch.
Fran, can you talk about your three-point shooting tonight? Every time Indiana made a run, you guys seemed to hit a big three when it was very vital.
It's true. Early on, it was Joe. He was on fire. You know, they were pushing up on J-Bo, and they were, you know, fighting Cook in the post. The guards was in foul trouble. We needed somebody to step up. It was Joe Wieskamp. And then in the second half, obviously, well, towards the end of the first half, we got J-Bo loose a couple times. I think that got him going. So in the second half, hit the big three out of the corner. We ran a play for Cook. They doubled him. He hits Bohannon, and then, you know, coming down the stretch, we're trying to milk the clock a little bit with a lead, and he just stepped up and made some. So those two guys in particular are really good three-point shooters. So it's not surprising that they would make them. You know, the good thing is we've got other guys that typically make them, and they didn't make them tonight. So some nights some guys are on, some guys are off.
What makes Cook so tough to guard?
Well, he's playing the game at his pace right now, but he's also really quick and really powerful. It's a lethal combination. But sometimes he gets in trouble when he goes too fast. Tonight he used his quickness and he played at his pace. He does a great job of recognizing when the double team comes and when it doesn't, and what he's got to do when it comes. He's a willing passer. So that's what makes it easy for us to run our offense through him.
Coach, I thought you guys did a really good job of making Indiana defend for a full 30 seconds for most possessions. What did you think was key about your team just running their offense and staying patient and staying with the game plan tonight?
Well, first of all, you're on the road. You're playing a team coming off a big win. I was really impressed with Indiana in the Michigan State game at the defensive end of the floor. So we felt like we were going to get a great effort from them defensively. And if you quick shoot the ball in a situation like that, or put your head down and drive, it's not going to work out well for you. You got to get it moving side to side. You got to have some screening action. Make them make decisions, whether it's a random ball screen or a flare screen or a way screen or a basket cut, and then be confident enough that we're going to get something good at the end of the clock, and we did on numerous occasions.
You had significant second half foul trouble. Who and how did you make up for that?
Well, one of the advantages we have, Mike, is we've got big guards and big wings. So there was one stretch where Macy was at the 4, another stretch Connor was at the 3. Bear can play 2 through 4. You know, and Joe was playing 2 through 4. So when you have 6, 6, 6, 7 guys, you can do that, and we just take advantage of them when we get in foul trouble.
Coach, your zone defense coming out of that first half timeout really seemed to change the complexion of the game. Can you talk about that?
You know, it's interesting because a lot of their offense, when they really got cooking in the first half in that one stretch, we had a turnover or two, we had maybe a 4-shot opportunity. They were scoring in transition. But they had that run where I just didn't like what was going on, and so we said we're going to go to the 2-3 zone and at least keep them in front of us. We can see where everybody is. You know, you run the risk of give up open threes. They do a really good job high-low. They post you hard. Morgan, Davis. They don't get behind the defense. They post you right on the block, and it's one of the reasons why we were in foul trouble. They run good stuff. You know, they didn't shoot it very well tonight. I thought we did a good job of moving our feet, being active with our hands, and contesting. But you know, you're right. It was probably the key defensively for us to be able to sit in that and have them utilize a lot of the clock as well to get a shot up.
You got your first look and first time coaching against Romeo Langford tonight. What were your thoughts on his game and the challenges he brings to an opposing defense?
Well, he's phenomenal. I mean, the kid's got unbelievable skill, but I think it's his confidence level, and you talk about a guy who plays at his pace. You know, can you get a quiet 22? It's kind of, he had a quiet 22. He doesn't force anything. He goes off the dribble. He makes threes. He gets to the free throw line. He impacts the game in a lot of ways. You know, they go to him late. He's a late game guy. You know, we're up 6. He hits the big 3. You're not surprised, and we know that's where they're going, and they go anyway, and he makes it. That says a lot about him. He's special.
Let's take 2 more.
I realize ranking wins can be silly, but this has to feel like one of the nicest ones in a while, huh?
Well, you know, any win in this league this year is huge. Any win on the road in this league, historically, has been very difficult to come by, especially here. You know, you don't win a lot here, and they're coming off a big win, and you know, we're coming off a big win, so we're thrilled with how we played and how we played together. But it just makes the next one bigger.
Knowing Juwan Morgan gets in foul trouble early in games, did you make a concerted effort to attack him off the dribble?
I wouldn't say that. I would say we made a concerted effort, like we do every game, to throw the ball to Cook and Garza. We're going to throw the ball to those guys, whoever's guarding them. It wasn't like we said, okay, let's make sure we get Juwan in foul trouble, because I think when you do that, sometimes it doesn't work. It's hard to do. We just go to our guys, basically.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fran.